I beg your order. I beg the member's pardon. Point of order, Dr. Russel.
Mr. Speaker, on other occasions when members have accused others of hypocrisy, you've ruled it out of order.
Order. No order. Now, look, if the member wants, the member's question invited a pretty robust response from the Prime Minister. I mean, that kind of question is always going to elicit a robust response. And as Speaker, I can't allow a questioner to get away with all sorts of allegations in their question, and prevent the Minister answering it from making a few in return. If where the member keeps his questions objective, I'll sit on the Minister's answering them. But with that sort of question, there's no way I can stop the Prime Minister having a fair old go in return. Point of order, Dr. Russell Norman.
Well, Mr. Speaker, so just to be clear, you are now saying that members can call other members hypocrites if there's enough provocation. Is that what you're saying?
Order. I didn't actually hear the final. There was so much noise, I didn't actually hear the final word the Prime Minister used. I didn't hear that word. I'll check with the Prime Minister whether he actually said the member was a hypocrite. The Prime Minister says he didn't. No.
Mr. Speaker, what I said was...
Order. I haven't called the Right Honourable Prime Minister. I'm not inviting him to say any more. I did not hear that order. I did not hear that word used. And I've checked with the Prime Minister. He says he did not say the member was a hypocrite. And therefore, that is the end of the matter. I have to take the Prime Minister... Order, I'm on my feet. And I must take the Prime Minister's word for that. Point of order, Metiria Turei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could I ask you, sir, then to check the Hansard at a later stage today and to come back tomorrow or later this afternoon with a clear ruling as to whether or not members are now allowed to accuse another member of hypocrisy in this House if there is sufficient provocation according to you?
Now, Order, the matter is very simple. As I understand what the Prime Minister was saying is a position represented hypocrisy. Now, that is not accusing a member of being a hypocrite. It's the same issue we've had in this House the last few days over whether members provide false information to the House, that kind of thing. This is a robust place. The member in asking us a question accused certain ministers in the government of all sorts of things. Now, I'm not going to prevent ministers from using pretty robust language in return. I'm satisfied the Prime Minister did not accuse the member's co-leader of being a hypocrite, and I will check the Hansard just to make sure that is correct. But the matter is The matter is very simple. I do not want to see this House ruling out more and more words. It's crazy that we should do that. But I do not want members to be accusing other members directly of being hypocrites. I don't want that to be happening. I don't believe that happened. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, could you explain to the House how someone could hold a position with hypocrisy, a policy which is hypocrisy, and not be a hypocrite?
Well, Order, I think there is a difference. Just as in recent times we've had issues of members providing false information being distinct from as being a liar. And I think a position can appear to be a position of hypocrisy without accusing the member of being a hypocrite. And I just think we've got to be, goodness sake, we're grown up, we use robust language. I don't want to be ruling out endless words in this place. Enough have been ruled out long before my time, I think to last us for many, many decades, and I'm not intending to rule out any more. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to refer you to previous Speaker's rulings where using the word hypocrisy in relation to another member has been ruled out. It applies regardless of whether the term is used in reference to an individual or to a group of members. Mr. Speaker, you might like to have a look at right as far back as Guinness in 1905, and so I have heard it constantly ruled out.
I've heard sufficient. Look, that might be the case, and I'm not going back on my ruling, though. I'm not, because for years we've heard members getting all upset over words of very little serious damage to members, and yet the other language they use and the way members attack each other at times has been totally derogatory. Now, this is a robust place. Sometimes we should toughen up a little bit, and the member raising the point of order is not unknown for being fairly tough. And I'm not going to allow members to accuse each other of being hypocrites. But a position of hypocrisy is not something I'm going to rule out, because, for goodness sake, if I was accused of that, I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it. People are entitled to all sorts of views. And this place is a place where, robust debate happens. But I will not have members accuse each other directly of being hypocrites or liars. I've dealt with that matter, so I'll go to Dr. Russel Norman.
So, Mr. Speaker, I support your ruling, actually. I think fair enough. And so what you're saying is that it's okay for us to say the government says it cares about the environment but actually destroys it. That's hypocrisy. That's a fair statement for us to make now.
Well, the only thing is, in asking a question, it would be unwise. In asking a question, because it invites a very robust answer. And the member has seen today asking provocative questions, sometimes order delivers answers the members don't like. And the incentive is always there. Members, only need to look at recent history where members ask the toughest questions for a minister to answer. I know from years experience answering them are the simple, direct questions. They are by far the hardest questions to answer. If members want to hold the executive to account, ask simple, tough questions. Don't make fancy, provocative political statements instead of asking a question. We've seen it in recent weeks in this House, where ministers have been held to account, where simple, tough questions have been asked. Point of order, the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
Mr. Speaker, it may be appropriate, given your ruling, which I'm not challenging, that you then advise your deputy and assistant speakers, because they've ruled exactly the opposite way from you, for many, as others have since 1905.
We don't need to take this matter any further. For goodness sake, we're all grown-ups in this place, and I do not want to see language that is common use language ruled out in this House. And I just ask members to use a little bit of common sense. A little bit of common sense that accusing someone of being a hypocrite is not acceptable, and if members in question time wish to put provocative language into questions, don't ask the Speaker to protect them from the answers given. And if members want to hold the executive to account, ask simple, tough questions without any opinions in them, and the Speaker will make sure you get answers. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor.
Just to confirm your position now, sir, it is all right to suggest that you act with hypocrisy, but not that you're a hypocrite.
There's a difference between accusing a member of acting with hypocrisy in a position appearing to be a hypocritical position. I just ask members to be reasonable. It's not that difficult. There are actually important issues being debated in this House, and this is so pathetic that we get all worked up over whether or not a position might appear to be hypocritical. That is just childish stuff. I'd like to think we're actually a bit more grown up than that. Question number 6, the Honourable Clayton Cosgrove.
With respect, sir, I think all members, and I suspect on both sides, no one's getting worked up. They're simply asking for some clarity and consistency from you, sir.
Order. Well, I thank the member for that. I think I've given reasonable clarity to people with reasonable intellect. Question number 6, the Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.